All right, guys, welcome to another episode, The Underdawgs. We're going to talk about the following topic. How to be a man that you're meant to be before the life breaks you.
I like it.
And before we start, I want to say something because why you should watch us and not go to another podcast with millions of views and big audience is because we represent you. When you watch those podcasts, you watch those guys and they already made hundreds of millions of dollars and they're billions, and a lot of things that they say don't relate to you in any way. So that's why you want to stick till the end of this podcast. And Brendan, you want to lead it off?
Yeah, welcome back for episode 3. Welcome, gentlemen.
Always, man, I love this.
Always
I love
a blessing
this.
just to be in a room full of just
Great today.
like-minded individuals. Building off what Vlad said, like that's the biggest thing too, is like we were in your guys' shoes a couple of months ago, right? Or a couple years ago, right? So we can relate and you guys can relate to our message and how, again, we're still not across the finish line, but every single day we're getting steps closer and closer and closer to that finish line. So again, let's get it started.
Man,
Absolutely.
this is very exciting. This is very exciting to talk about it. How to be that man. What do you think, Corbin?
Honestly, I just want to say to become the man that you want to be, you got to really believe in yourself. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but you got to really believe in yourself. You got to dive deep on who you are. The audience, if you're looking in the mirror and there's something that you don't like, just take an accountability list. Figure out what makes you stronger, what makes you weaker, and dive into that. Because to become the man that you want to be, for me, that's going to be a leader, a community leader. That's going to be someone that's successful in business. And I think that at the end of the day, you really got to make a list of where your weakest points are in life, whether that's not being fit, not eating the right food, not having the right communication skills. You want to become a man that your wife or your loved ones look at and they see that you're able to support them regardless of what's going on in your life. And we said, what would break a man? What would happen to break you? Realistically, what would happen is your emotions got in the way. And that's what I feel. Like your emotions will stop you from becoming who you want to be because you're letting a feeling inside your mind dictate exactly how you're going to run your day that day. So become the man you want to be and make sure you look at everything that you're doing wrong in life. And we're not there yet. I just know a few years ago, I was sitting on a couch, laying down, watching TV. I loved Law and Order. I loved NCIS, one of my favorite shows. One of my favorite shows.
Come on, man. Now you don't have a TV.
I don't even
what
have
do
a
you do
TV.
now?
Isn't that, it's insane to say, but I don't have a TV. And that's actually what made me the man that I'm going to become, is removing all of the standards that 99% of Americans continue to do on a day-to-day basis. Nothing comes from that TV. And I'm pointing this way because there's a TV in front of us that we just use for design. Really, it's just there to make us seem normal. But nothing comes from TV.
But what does it mean to break a man? Does it mean that he's going to go psycho? Or does it mean that he's
a loser.
Going to be fat?
He's a loser.
He's going to maybe never create a family or start creating family and then using all the excuses to go divorce and leave your kids behind.
You need
yourself
life to break you.
Yeah.
You need those hardships
Sure.
in your life because that pain, right? The failures, like that stings, and that's gonna allow you to like have the fuel and energy to improve. I love this topic because you have to understand, right? Becoming the man that you are proud to see in the mirror, you have to understand and peel the layers back. Why do you want to be this man?
Sure.
What is it, right? And then now you have a pathway to improve because you can acknowledge all the weaknesses, all your insecurities, all the things that are holding you back, and improve on that every single day, right? So without hardships and life breaking you down, there is no purpose of becoming that man you desire to be without all the trauma and the hardships prior.
Okay. I like that perspective a lot. But do we always think that with those hardships, you have to let it break you? Or do you grow from those situations? Because I feel like, yeah, we're going to grow and peel the layers back when you're becoming the man you're meant to be.
Yes.
But when life breaks you, some people, they don't peel the layers back, right? And they end up falling back into, you know what, it was a hard day, or I just broke up with my longtime girlfriend or boyfriend and I feel sad all the time. And the biggest thing that I learned from one of my friends after a 6-year relationship, when he finally, you know, broke up with his lady, he's like, doing a whole lot of nothing leads to a whole lot of nothing. Does that make sense?
Gets you a whole bunch of shit.
It gives you nothing to do and nothing to be proud of. So sitting there in your sorrows doesn't make you the man you're meant to be or the woman you're meant to be. But taking action every day to grow yourself will make you the man you need to be. And that could be different for everybody, but you want to be in control of your life, so you have to be that beacon of light for your community. You got to be in control of you in order to be able to help Vlad or Brandon when they need it, and vice versa.
Life's either going to break you or you yourself have to break who you are.
Correct.
Right? So that's how I look at it.
Absolutely.
Like you can allow life to be, you know, that instigator, or you can be the one in charge. Like, okay, I have to change everything about what I do on a daily basis, the way I think, the way I operate, the way I speak, the people I
Correct.
hang out with, my environment, everything. If you break this current version of yourself that you are not proud to see and do things that you know that better version of you does, you will break and mold yourself to be that man that, you know, can bring in a successful wife home, or make a certain amount of money, or start a successful business, whatever the case is. But you do have to break that individual.
Here's what I think of life breaking you. I think it's the man that gave up on himself and he's not aware that he's a loser. It's that guy who maybe, like I said, have gone through divorce, or maybe have got some bad habits that he now is very comfortable with, and he's not even looking up to higher standards. I think that's giving up. It's when you don't even want to watch any podcast like this podcast. So whoever is watching us right now, they're on the way like us, or they're aware that life is hard and they need to do something about it. Because I think the broken man is someone who doesn't even realize that he's broken. 100%. I'll tell you about my own example. Like just 3 years ago, before I moved from Chicago to California, I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I didn't see that I'm fat. Since then, I lost about 25 pounds, you know, signing up for a marathon, going to the gym. And now that I look back at those photos, videos from my phone, I was like, what the heck? I didn't even realize that how fat I was. And I think that was a very dangerous path. So it's a lack of awareness that you are on the wrong path. That's what broken man is. It's any thoughts on that?
Insecurity. When people are too insecure about other people's opinions of themselves, that's when you start to let yourself be dictated by someone else's life. And when you're looking in the mirror and you're like, okay, am I fat? Maybe your surroundings, the people that you were working with, weren't in the healthiest environments or weren't healthy themselves. So you got comfortable. But then when you removed yourself and put yourself in a situation where you're in the unknown, moving from Chicago to California, you kind of realize, hey, something's not right.
Yeah.
My energy levels aren't there. The person I'm seeing in the mirror isn't there. And I go back on this topic. You have to love yourself completely 150% before you can even love anybody else, and that includes your wife and your kids.
How does someone start loving themselves?
You look in the mirror and you do exactly what you said. You peel back the layers and you ask yourself, what does the better version of yourself do? When you're looking at your 35-year-old self, your 45-year-old self, your 42-year-old self, your 27 now, so your 37-year-old self, when you pass on your life to that older version of yourself, are they going to look at you and be, hey, you just passed me a bag of shit, all your bad habits, all your eating habits. Now I'm dealing with all of the stress and insecurities of my 27-year-old younger self when I'm 37. So now I got to clean up all that bullshit. And I'm 37 now. So what do you think is going to happen to the 37-year-old if you come into your life being like, I'm young, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. And then all of a sudden now you're 37, you have no finances saved, you have nothing to go for yourself, no career, no communication, no outside the box thinking. You're just giving your older self a bag of shit. So you're setting your life up to fail. You're breaking your own self when you're not looking deep down on how you can be better every day. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I love Vlad's point. A broken man doesn't know he's broken. That's such a gem. And it's because they're complacent in their environment. You need to surround yourself with better individuals that will not lie to your face. Corbin, you're doing just fine. Vlad, it's okay, right? You need individuals that are going to tell you the truth because the truth hurts. But you need to have individuals that will tell you the truth because they see the full potential in you, right? Hardships, just being direct is going to be initially hurtful, but it's going to allow you to be like, you know what? Damn, I am fat. Damn, I should be being better. Damn, this and that, right? So it's going to allow you just to change. Both you guys are very direct and truthful because we understand we're all trying to push forward. And if we lie to each other, it's only going to hinder us.
Yep. But now we have the environment. We see each other. You guys have perfect bodies. You go to the gym the last 3 years, never miss a day. And I look at you and you push myself. But when you're broken and you just realized by a miracle, by a God's gift, that you have higher potential, like you said, and like I said, a lot of times you just don't realize. And you decide to make that step forward, you probably still in a bad environment. Now, we're just shaped by our environment, and it takes a lot of courage and energy to step out of your crowd, your circle, and go into emptiness. Because a guy like Brandon or Corbin fit, maybe you want to mentor someone, but do you really want to be like a best friend of someone who is like fat and like has bad habits? You want to stay away from that because he might drag you into his circle. Correct. So you just want to stay away from that. So that guy, or maybe somebody who's watching us, is kind of struggling because he has all his friends that still have the bad habits, but somehow he woke up and now he's trying to change his life. And the people that are fit and, because listen, millionaire doesn't want to be a best friend of broke person, right? Never. A really fit person doesn't want to hang out with person that has bad habits. So there is going to be a moment of emptiness and loneliness, and you have to keep going in that direction. And when you change yourself, you will attract better things in your life. That's just how it works. So you have to change, be patient, and be with someone just to hang out with that girlfriend or that friend that is not up to standards of your new life that you want to create for yourself. Just don't be with them. Just be lonely. It's better to be lonely and single than just hang out with someone.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna create a person that people want to hang out with, and you're gonna meet those people.
Yeah.
And I talk about it. It's not theory, it's life. It happened to me. So just like Hormozy says, listen, he wasn't, Alex Hormozy, great guy, love him. He says, listen, there's going to be a time when you're going to be a very, very lonely person because those people that you want to hang out with and get to that level, they have no interest talking to you. Okay, just keep going, keep crushing it, and you'll get to that level.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing, right? Your environment dictates how you move in life. If you're around negative people, you start to rub off some of that negativity into your life. If you're around go-getters, you're going to start rubbing off and, being more ambitious towards new things in life. When your environment dictates how you function, it even comes down to the city and the location that you live in.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when
Oh, yeah.
we have over here in California a low income or middle class city, let's just say, and that's where you live, you're surrounded by the environment and minds of low income and middle class individuals, which will come with a lot of negativity. You move yourself to a more affluent area, a more wealthy area, a more well-developed area, your mindset starts to change. The way you interact with people are different. The way the people that you see on a day-to-day basis communicate in a different manner. And that's going to help you get to that next better version or that man that you dream to be. But you got to go to that lonely part of your life by removing yourself from that comfortable environment. I did the same thing. I had the choice to stay in the city where I grew up, or I had the choice to venture out here to Irvine, California by myself and change my entire environment. None of my friends that I went to high school with live out here, so I'm not distracted by the old version of myself. None of my friends that we continue to have a relationship with today typically travel to me, so that shows me that they don't want to come out here and enjoy time with me. I have to make time for them. So I leave about a 5% of my time for those individuals because I care about them. It's always good to go back to your hometown and be with certain people that you enjoy their company, but you can't stay there. Because once you start staying in that same environment, you start to become that old version of yourself. And right now I'm trying to grow into a version that most people aren't going to like, because it's hard to like a 1%er because they're very ambitious. And Alex Hormozy said that. He said that the person you're trying to become isn't going to be liked by everybody because you're continuously chasing improvement. And that's what a successful person does, is they are so ambitious that they never stop moving. They just keep going forward. They just keep going forward. You know that by your CEO of your company. He just runs forward. He takes a problem and he tackles it and he goes forward. He doesn't even think about the repercussions because he knows that if he keeps moving forward, keeps putting volume out, we're going to continue to be progressive. And when you start to think about certain like aspects of your life where you're like, okay, you know what, let me go forward, but then you start taking 10 steps backwards because you're eating the wrong foods or you're hanging out with the wrong people, you begin to lose. And I'm all about being in the 1%, okay? Yeah. If you're drinking on the weekends, I don't want to be fucking near you. If you're smoking weed, because we live in California, I don't want to be fucking around you. Now, if we go and hang out and you do that and it's once out of the blue moon, I'm not going to be worried about it. But if I keep hanging out with people that drink on the weekend and they keep smoking on the weekend, what do you think is going to happen to me?
You're going to turn into that individual.
Exactly. I'm going to start smoking. I'm going to start drinking. And then we're going to have an issue. I'm going to lose all the hard work that I've put in. And no successful billionaire, okay, no successful billionaire didn't stop drinking or smoking. Do you know why? Because it destroys your brain. And no successful person wants to destroy their brain that's going to give them the opportunity to create wealth. So be the man you want to become, sure. But to be the best version of yourself, you got to go into this lonely chapter.
So you could see a commonality with both Vlad answers, Vlad, what Vlad said, and Corbin. You need to be in isolation, because when you're in isolation, you can fully understand who you want to be. You're not distracted with all the noise and what other people are trying to bring around you and whatnot. And I think that's one of my biggest assets or greatest assets, is how I'm just someone who can cut people off like so quickly. Like, I think, if someone is not on the path that like has big dreams, wants to like change their whole life, and someone that, is trying to work towards that every single day, it's like, okay, like I'm going to separate myself from you guys. Yep. Hey, I wish you guys nothing but the best. I have no hateful comments, remorse towards you guys, but I'm on my path. I'm on this path because I want to be the best. I want to be the greatest.
Correct.
Right? So you have to understand, cutting off your friends fucking sucks. It's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. They're going to mock you. They're going to laugh at you, especially when you go down this path of isolation and recreating yourself. But just understand that's the path that is needed for you to change, is needed for you to become a man, again, that you can be proud to see. So it starts with isolation. It starts with taking accountability. It starts with understanding who you want to become and working towards that every single day. And I want to tell you guys honestly, right? Because we're in the thick of it right now. It's going to take a while. You're not going to see the results overnight. People are going to mock you so much where it's going to be like, fuck, what am I doing? Should I even be taking this route? But but understand it's going to be worth it in the end, right? Because everyone who's mocking you, telling you whatever it is going to be asking you, how did you do it? What allowed you to have the mindset to keep persevering, right? So isolate yourself and understand what you fully want and then go attack it.
Yep. I want to come back to the environment because you started talking about it and I could see it when I moved from Chicago to California. People look different.
Yeah.
People are not happy with the weather, wherever it is in Chicago. And you come out here in California and majority of the people are fit. You drive or walk or run through Newport Beach.
Yeah.
And you can see that silhouette, that typical Newport lady, very skinny, right? Good looking. And you can probably tell she's Newport lady if you see her in Irvine or like somewhere outside of Orange County.
Yeah.
And you think about it, okay, that lady or that man, very well fit, they probably look like this because they have a lot of money. So if you have money, you're gonna look good. But that's couldn't be further from the truth, because do you think he bought the house in Newport and built his company and sold the company for $100 million and now he lives in the mansion for $10 million and then he got fit? No, he changed himself first. And we talk about the physicality a lot, but this is where it just starts. It just starts there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a very simple formula. If you don't know where to start and you can't pull yourself, out of that hole, here's my formula that worked for me. Sign up for marathon right now. Sign up for marathon. Just don't overthink it. Sign up for marathon. Give yourself about 9 months for preparation, 6 to 9 months. Before you sign up for marathon. Okay, that's done. Now sign up for a half marathon. Give yourself like 4 months. Okay, and go run few 5Ks in about a month and 2 months. Do 2 of them. Once you go through all this, you're going to lose a lot of weight. You're going to keep training because you don't want to go through that marathon and die. I know Brandon did it without preparation, but not everyone is like Brandon. And once you do that, you're going to come out of there like a new man. You're going to create the habits throughout that year that are going to stick with you for a long time. You're probably going to go back so proud of yourself after that marathon to your old habits. And then you're going to notice that you look fat again, your life is not that great again, and you just don't feel good. You don't have a good amount of energy and performance in your work, it's just reflection of your physical shape in your work. So if you don't see it, you'll go back to marathon again. So it will just stick with you. So keep doing that, or just do that what I just told you, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I like that a lot. The blueprint that worked for me and helped other young men finally be proud of who they saw was just getting in shape.
Yeah.
Right? That follows along what Vlad said, but that's the lowest fruit on the tree, is changing your body, right? Because not only does it change you physically, it changes your mindset, right? And if your mind is not on the same page as you, you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? Because if you're always doubting yourself, listening to, people tell you it's not possible and whatnot, do you think you're going to transform into that individual you can be proud of? No, you're going to go back to that current version of yourself, right? So work on yourself, get in shape. And then another thing that really helped me was, fulfilling what I said. If I said I was going to do 100 push-ups today, damn well I have to do that. Or then I'm making broken promises to myself.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't trust yourself, you can't love yourself.
Yep.
Right? Get in shape, start fulfilling what you say every single day, and you will get better just by doing that.
Yeah, man.
And just to lead on that 100 push-up thing, right? So David Goggins says the only person that you quit on when you don't finish the race is yourself. Nobody else cares if you didn't do the 100 push-ups.
Yeah.
Nobody cares if you didn't wake up on the right time that you were meant to wake up. Only person that needs to care is yourself, because the accountability is what takes you to the next level. It's really the accountability every day to show up with a determined attitude to win. And it's going to come off as arrogant. But you got to have confidence, which can be perceived as arrogance, but you have to have confidence in who you are, because then if you don't have confidence, you're always going to let the company dictate where you go in life. And I'm not about having a company decide what's going to happen to my life. I have to make those decisions myself. So before you get broken by life because you listen to other people's opinions of you, you need to just look at yourself and be like, if I want to do 100 push-ups, I'm doing 100 push-ups. If I want to close 100 sales, I'm going to close 100 sales. If I want to close 30 car sales this month, I'm going to make it a goal. If I don't hit it, that's fine. Failure is part of success. You have to fail to learn how to win. But you got to have these unachievable goals, unattainable goals, so you can keep shooting for the moon.
Yeah.
Okay? A lot of people like to set the bar in the middle. I don't want to set the bar in the middle. The bar should be so fucking high that I can't fucking reach it. And then all of a sudden I reached it, and now I got to set another high goal.
Accountability.
Yeah.
You don't go to the gym every day just for your muscles
Fuck
to grow,
no.
because then
That's not even healthy.
It's not healthy, and that's not giving you the best result.
No.
If you would just chase muscle growth, right?
Yeah.
So you do it for accountability. You do it
For discipline.
to get your ass off that bed in the morning and start accountability since the time you open your eyes.
Correct.
And we talk about going to the gym, running marathons, and that's where it starts.
That's the blueprint.
That's where it starts. The next level, you use the same standards. You don't break promises on yourself,
Yeah.
and you achieve other things in other areas of your life. But this is where it starts. It's very important for a man to start with his body.
Correct.
And then you can move on. And what do you think is that next step? How do you apply it? And
Learning.
how can you apply it?
I want to build off what you guys are saying because you guys are on point, right? You have to understand no one else is going to change your life.
No.
It's going to be you who are going to be the ones changing
Yeah,
your life, right?
correct.
But that's the greatest thing about it, because you can't blame anyone else if you do not, right? No one's going to wake up and make sure Corbin or Vlad has a Lamborghini in their driveway. No one's going to make sure that Corbin has $100 million in his bank account except you, or except Corbin, or except Vlad, right? So take accountability, right? If you want something, fucking work for it, right? Stop feeling bad for yourself. The reason why you're in the current situation you're in right now is because you feel bad for yourself. You're complacent. Learn to be uncomfortable. Learn to push through. Learn to find who the true inner you is and fucking keep pushing. Right? So that I just wanted to pinpoint that because that's the greatest thing. Like, as a man, you're the dictator of your life. You dictate your habits, your actions, the things that come out of your mouth, your presence, your energy.
Everything.
You are the dictator. The day you understand that, and the day I understood that, my whole life fucking changed.
Yep.
So
And comparison kills.
100%.
Okay? Like, there's always going to be someone doing better than you, has more money than you, drives a nicer car than you, got rich at a younger age, got wealthy at a younger age. Doesn't fucking matter. What matters is the person in the mirror chasing his fucking dreams. And when I look in the mirror, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm never going to be where I want to be, because when you're chasing success, it's just like Alex Hormozy said, you're never going to stop. Once you obtain one goal, you go for the next goal, next goal, next goal. Not everybody's going to want that lifestyle, but the people on this channel watching, I hope that you want something better than who you are today. So when you do die, your name is remembered. And even if it isn't remembered, fuck, you killed life. You took action. You recorded it. You showed all the mess ups, the blemishes, and the success. And you weren't afraid. You were going to say something. What were you going to say, Vlad?
No, I just wanted to come back to the subject of today's podcast, which
Sure.
is how to be a man that you're meant to be. And what does it mean for you, a man that you're meant to be? A man to be by who? How do you find those high standards? Does every man has high ambitions to become someone? Is it designed by God? What do you mean a man that you're meant to be? What do you guys think?
I think it's who you see yourself in the future becoming. Some men, they just want to watch TV, football, their whole life goes down the line. But fuck, what a miserable life. Okay, for me, I want to be a community leader. I want to go to auditoriums and speak and motivate the youth and motivate young adults and motivate adults. I want to go chase dreams where people see me and they're like, wow, that's Corbin. He's doing this, he's doing that. I mean, he's got this business running over here. He's over here with Brendan doing a sales meeting. He's over here with Vlad running a auditorium of 2,000-3,000 people. They're talking about their life experience. And then he's going to his church community and he's presenting himself to his pastor and offering a helping hand to the community. I want to do a lot of things that make me be remembered in the good of light. But not everybody has that dream. A lot of people want to watch football on Sunday. And honestly, I think that's a bunch of bullshit because you're watching someone else chase their dreams, okay?
Biggest waste of time.
You're watching someone else chase their dreams. They're getting paid fucking millions, what you would wish to get paid, and money that you'll probably never see in your life no matter how hard you fucking work. Do you know why? Because those kids were playing fucking football since 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, fucking 20 years of grinding.
All you've seen is just fucking
Go
grinding.
get after it. Get after it. You want fucking money? Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Train. Get yelled at. Fucking sit down. Go to practice twice a day. Go to fucking school twice a day. And look at these guys. Raised by proper men and women, and they got to a level that you dream and desire to have. There's athletes that make more money than any people in the fucking world because they trained hard. They didn't just show up one day and was like, I'm fucking the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers and I'm winning.
They showed up to draft day. Here you go. First round pick.
Yeah, they were crying when they didn't get picked. They were coming home late from practice. Their families looking at them, why are you training your kid like this? Where's his weekends? Those are the people that really got me going. I'm like, these guys are training for 18 years and I'm over here complaining of 6 years in the gym working out. What a fucking bitch.
Yeah, bro, but that guy didn't train like you. I still don't know a person who would train like you. No, seriously, I've never seen a guy who would not.
He thinks I'm more animal than human. That's what he says to me.
Coming back to it, we can talk about it. Brandon, please go ahead.
Yeah, to answer your question, Vlad, if you don't know who you want to be, look at the people that inspire you, right? Look at their track record, what they did, their mentality, their mindset, their habits, their actions, right? And then just do the things that they did. Success leaves clues, right? So start understanding how successful people think, how they operate, how they go about decisions, right? Their habits, their environments, right? You start acting like the successful version of yourself, you'll start attracting success. Better people will come into your life. More opportunities will be present, right? You'll start loving yourself. So that's the biggest thing for me. Like, I looked at people who inspired me and who I wanted to become and started acting like those individuals, right? And then started deeply understanding myself, that I could add my own spin to it and who I am as an individual and then taking that path.
Because everybody's different. Everybody has their original taste to them, but you gotta look for that edge.
Yeah.
Right? Kobe is one of my biggest inspirations. I know all of you guys on this podcast know who Kobe Bryant is. One of his favorite sayings is, "What's there to be happy about?"
You say that. I love because you say that.
Are you succeeding? Have you made success yet? No. So what's there to be happy about? Nothing. So get to fucking work, put one foot in front of the other. Think about all the games. Torn Achilles, came back on the court, shot the ball. He didn't say he did it for himself. Okay, he said that he did it for all the fans that paid their hard-earned money to watch him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why he went back on the court. So when you train at a level that nothing but excellence is your standard, you're going to be fucking upset when you're not winning, which is good. You should be upset when you're not winning. Ask Vlad. I'm always angry when I'm not making a sale. I'm fucking mad. I'm walking around like, what the fuck is this? But I don't let that dictate how I'm going to finish my month or what I'm going to do in my future. I'm just upset at the fact that I'm not winning.
Or
So
interactions with people.
how do I win? Yes,
Yeah.
big thing is it will never.
Like you'll always be nice to people.
It will never affect the person I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
I do sales in a whole different manner. Your family, I know everybody says that, but your family to me, I could care less how much money I make on the deal. Vlad kind of sees that sometimes. I just really care if you want to give me your hard-earned money and you feel that the trust is there. That's all that matters to me, because God, he already has everything that he can provide for me, and he has plenty of it to give out. I just have to keep being a good servant of him and keep being obedient so that way I can receive his blessings. But when you do it for greed, greed isn't the root of all evil. It's what greedy people do. It's their mindset. It's the way they treat others. It's the way they want things and not give it back to people that they need it most, right? So I want all the money, but it's not going to be for me. It's going to be for my loved ones. It will be for Vlad one day. It'll be for Brandon one day. It doesn't matter how much money I make. I'm just going to give it all away, and I'm going to have some for myself because there's going to be plenty around to give.
I want you guys to understand this. You're probably getting motivated right now. You're probably amped up like, heck yeah, I'm going to start, right? But just understand, you have to be disciplined as well, right? Because the first month of being disciplined and working out and bettering your life is easy. But what about the second month? What about the third month? What about the fourth month? What about keep pushing forward? What about when your friends turn into your biggest haters? What about when your family's hating on you? When it's like, damn, I'm trying to better myself for y'all so you can enjoy the fruits of my labor one day, but then y'all hating on me? So you have to understand it's just more than motivation. You have to be disciplined. You have to fulfill your word. You have to take accountability. You have to be honest, and you have to show up every single day. Half the battle is just showing up. 80% of the world doesn't show up, right? Or they show up for a small amount of time. Can you show up for years on end, right? Just understanding every single day you do show up, you're getting closer and closer to that finish line. That's where it starts, and that's the mentality you must have every single day.
Marathon, bro. Don't forget to sign up for that marathon right after this podcast, because it will give you that long-term commitment, not just after a month you can give up. You'll have to train for that one, and just like I said, sign up for like 9 months ahead. But coming back to the question that I asked you guys, what does it mean meant to be by who? I think it's like in a philosophical way, we humans have a lot of potential. Take a look at our body. Our body is a very complex biological robot.
Yeah.
Our brain, with all the neurological paths that it has, it's more complex than freaking universe. And it will take, if it is going to ever happen, it will take thousands of years for AI to recreate a human. We talked about it last time. Will it actually happen that there's going to be a copy of myself, a version of myself, and you can't tell the difference? Maybe not, because this body is so complex. And now we have this multi-billion robot. I don't know, it doesn't even have a price tag, and we don't take care of it. So that's one side of it. You have to take care of your body because God gave us a gift by having this body. Second side of our human being nature is our soul and our higher self.
Yeah.
There is God, or part of God, inside of us, inside of each of us. And you can only find it once you did the groundwork and you built yourself. Now God looking at you, He's getting a little bit of proud of yourself, of you, and He says, okay, maybe I'll open him path and doors where he can actually go to the next level and actually now develop not only, on the level of your body, but spiritual way.
Sure.
And this is where there is limitless potential. So just keep that in mind. Don't forget that we have a high purpose on this planet as a human being. And then there is an inner voice in each of us. Some, like you said, some people just watch TV, they don't hear that voice. But I believe it's in every person, inner voice that tells himself, hey, you should do this and that. For example, I have a feeling, it comes from somewhere from inside. I have to go back to my country where I'm from. I told you last time, I'm from Transnistria. It's like part of Moldova, country that doesn't exist, has 500,000 people. People think that they don't have a country. People think that they have no potential. People think that they're lower than any other country, and they think like very low on themselves. They don't have self-esteem. This is what we thought in school, like we're not worth anything. I think it comes like through the system. The teachers, like we're just fucking Transnistria. Nobody even knows us. We're not even on the map. You can Google what Transnistria is, but I want to go back to that country, and I want to go and motivate those kids to put high standards in life. I want to go and help them. You can help them financially, which I would love to do. But more than that, I just want them to believe in themselves. Sure. I want to come back with my own example, because that's the best way to teach anything, anybody. With your own example, show them this is possible. And I mean, where does it come from? Where that voice comes from? It comes from somewhere from the top. Yeah. It comes from your heart. You have to listen to that voice, and that voice gets quieter and quieter. The more you shut yourself down, you gain weight, you get bad habits, you give up on yourself, you give up on building better habits, you give up on your potential, and then you just don't hear that voice. And the next level is, okay, now I built myself as a man. Now I love myself. Now I can actually go ahead and take care of other people. And now I can serve my family. I can serve my kids. I can be a good father. I can be a good son. So that's another thing that I want to talk about, that balance, because you have to concentrate on yourself, but I'm a father. I cannot only concentrate. Corbin looked at me today, Vlad, why the fuck I didn't see you doing 100 floors at the gym today? I just did push-ups today. But I started my reading, that's my routine. And then my son woke up too early, which normally he, sleeps and I come back from the gym. And like now I'm gonna go to work, and I'm gonna choose, like, okay, do I go to the gym and same narrative like we talk about, you gotta be best version of yourself, but I also have to be best version of father. And that's what we can't forget about, because we're so focused on ourselves. And it's good, because like we talked, you have to focus on yourself first. But how do you, and when you wake, you can actually balance that.
Yeah, and remember we were talking at work one day, and I told you, you have to be good at not only going to the gym, you got to be good at your job, you have to be a good father, you have to be a good husband, you have to be a good son and brother, sister. You have to be good in all areas of life. Once again, you need to be good in all areas of life in order to become that better version of yourself. Yeah. And that's good in all areas. I mean, the eating, the family, the work, the stuff you do on a day-to-day basis that help you grow, giving a little bit of your time to the loved ones in your life. You have to be good in all areas of life. And I know Brendan understands that. I know I understand that.
Yeah, that's the man we're talking about.
Yeah. What do you
mean?
mean?
That's the man.
Oh, you mean the inner man that we're talking about?
No, I'm talking about that man that we're trying to build in our life.
Yes.
And trying to help the audience
I got it.
to project
Yeah.
and build. Not just the man that is strong, that is successful, that has money, but a good father, good son. And that's what I'm trying to focus, because I'm so focused on work, on performing, on being the best, not never missing the gym.
Yeah.
But you can't forget about other aspects of life that very important, and build that picture of the man.
Yeah. And we were talking about the inner voice. I'm not sure if you guys know, like, the philosopher Socrates, right? He explains that that's your inner Athena. That's the inside voice that you had to learn how to control. When it's saying don't grab that cookie, it's your inner voice telling you don't grab that cookie. But what happens? Typically, you go grab the cookie. But it's the inner voice that you have to listen to and control for you to get to the next level. And self-talk. I don't know if you self-talk. I don't know if you self-talk, but self-talk is the number one factor that leads you to success. It's that accountability voice inside your head that you need to be focused on a day-to-day basis.
You talk out loud in the gym.
I always talk out loud in the gym because what you say out loud, you can hear. Right? But if you're just saying it in your head, it's like a crazy voice. But when you put it into existence and listen to it, you're like, okay, that's where I need to be better, or that's how I'm going to get stronger. I always rep out certain like melancholy aspects of life, like RIP, the friends that I lost, right? And it gives me this power that says, you know what? They don't have the life anymore. My friends that, have passed away, they don't have the life that they dreamed of. And they went through a lot of pain when they went into the next life. So it's my responsibility to get into that pain threshold and grow from it.
Yeah.
To get stronger.
Yeah.
Because if I don't go to those dark moments in life, I'm always going to think life's a ball of joy. And it's not. It's meant to be tough. It's meant to break you, right?
Yeah, if you want to grow.
You said that in the beginning.
Your inner voice can either be your biggest blessing or your biggest curse.
Correct.
Right? Because it's what you think about in your mind. If you don't work and exercise that inner voice, it's going to be your biggest curse, because it's just going to feed you with doubt, feed you with things that aren't going to help you be your best self. Oh, let's eat that cookie. Oh, let's smoke that weed. Oh, let's drink that alcohol. One time won't hurt. And you continue on that path. If you work that inner voice, I'm my best self. I'm going to wake up and do this and do that and fulfill everything I say. Then it's working in your favor, right? The reason who I am today is because my inner self voice. I talk to myself just like how Corbin does, maybe not so loudly, but I tell myself, B, nobody can stop you. B, find a fucking way. B, you were put on this earth for so much more. Give it more effort, right? That inner self-talk is going to help you battle through all the hardships life's going to throw at you, right? Life is fucking hard. It's not easy. Regardless if you're taking the successful route or the non-successful route, both routes are fucking hard. You just have to choose which route you want to be on, right? A route that's going to build and mold you to be your best self, or a route that's going to fucking crumble you and demise, looking yourself in the mirror, right? So build that inner self, build that self-talk. Start to speak how you want to be, right? I tell my team, I lead a sales team of about 14 hungry individuals, and I tell them every single day, how many demos are you going to book today? And they'll look at me, they're like, oh, probably one. I'm like, no, tell me, how many book demos are you going to get? And they'll be like, all right, 2, 3. And I'm like, no, say it again. And I'm like, how many book demos are you going to get? And they're like, I'm going to get 3 book demos. I have them say it at least 3 times out loud. And then, as we all know, the universe listens, right? Because they believe in that. They have that positive internal self-talk. They make it happen.
Yep.
Right? If you believe it and you have the guts to say it out loud, you can achieve it.
Correct. And you don't achieve anything without speaking it into existence. 100%. I mean, I write down every day, I'm going to be a billionaire. That is a crazy goal. Like, there's only like 838 billionaires in the world. Okay, to like be part of that, it just is insane. But if you don't let the wavelengths of your brain comprehend that, you're never going to be able to come into existence of that billionaire version of yourself. If you don't say you're going to be a millionaire, you'll never get there, because you're limiting your brain capacity and your wavelengths of who you are inside to be less than what you potentially could be. And I think it's super important to continuously say, okay, I write down, ever since Brendan taught me this, he's like, you write down the better version of yourself. I write it down every day. I got like almost 50 journals, and it's just like, better version of Corbin knows how to communicate well. Better version of Corbin eats healthy daily. Better version of Corbin works out daily. This has nothing to do with anybody. I just write it down. I don't even have to do it, but writing it down keeps me accountable to become that better version of myself. And I cannot worry about the other people's opinions. I don't have to worry about other people telling me like, oh, you're not healthy. Oh, you're not disciplined. Oh, you're not going to become this. Or that's a crazy goal to have. I don't care. I even write the better version of Corbin doesn't listen to the opinions of others that don't reflect the characteristics of a good person, man or woman. I write that stuff down because I don't want the opinions of lazy people to tell me how to dictate my life. I only want the opinions of multimillionaires or billionaires telling me how I can grow.
So give them a formula. What do you write down? How do you do it? How long you've been doing it? And why you think they should do it?
That's the formula. You write down the better version, you put your name, and you write a statement. And Brendan actually taught me this formula. It's just nobody wants to do it. It's not fun waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning and writing these things down. And it's the same exact words written down every day for 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, 4 years. But that's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is to understand who you are internally before you go enter the world. Okay, so that's the purpose, is understand who you are internally and what guides you to that next version or that better self, so you can go out in the world in the morning and conquer those dreams and have it in your inner Athena, your subconscious mind, like, fuck, I shouldn't have this cookie right now. Fuck, I shouldn't be going to do this right now. Is this going to get me to $1 billion? I write down the better version of Corbin sells 3 cars a day, and then I ask how it's done. Attitude, inventory, follow-up, and controlled emotions. I try to be as stoic as possible because your emotions really don't dictate anything in your life. So being emotionless allows you to kind of flow through the world in a more non-problematic way. You can just, attack issues and solve them and understand how this is going to work and how this will work and how it's going to guide you to the better man that you dream to become. Another thing that we want to go over today is we talk about like before life breaks you. A huge comment that I've heard lately is some people don't wake up until they're 30. Some people don't wake up till they're 40. I'm not sure if you guys know what that means. It means like they don't have that self-awareness of they just wasted their fucking life until later.
That's why they have midlife
crisis. Yeah. I hear that all the time. Oh, I'm about to turn 30. What the fuck? I'm going to be fit as fuck. My testosterone level is going to be all the way up here. I'm going to be a healthy man. And I'm not even worried about going into my 30s. I'm fucking excited.
No, bro. People look old at 30.
I don't give a fuck if I'm bald or old. All I care about is I will feel good because I put in the actions on a day-to-day basis.
Old. You won't look old.
Well,
if you're if you're in a good shape, how are you gonna look old? I look at men that are in their 50s and they don't look old. Yes, you can see the age, but they look good, So that age doesn't matter if you keep high standards in front of yourself.
Yeah.
You just have to understand what you want, right? People who, don't wake up until their 30s or 40s, they didn't ask themselves deep questions and fully understand what they want, right? The path that I'm currently on, the things that I'm doing on a daily basis, is this going to help me get closer to my dreams or farther away, right? They're not willing to look internally and deep and ask them the hard questions, right? They're not willing to write down what that better version of themselves is. How do they think? How do they operate, right? It's hard, right? Most people fear that individual staring back at them in the mirror, but that's what's needed. You have to look internally. Everything starts within, right? Because if you don't even, again, love yourself and deeply understand yourself, how can you create a roadmap or a plan to get to that better version of yourself or get to those dreams? You have to understand who you are, right? But it's hard because of all the fears and all the insecurities and whatnot. So understand who you deeply are to a true core, and it's through that isolation, right? It's not through allowing your friends to tell you, oh man, you're good, bro. Bro, just take a hit of the joint, man. It won't hurt you. you're fine.
Let's go to the club.
Take a sip of that alcohol. Come on, let's take a shot.
Yeah,
Right?
let's go.
But you find who you
Nothing.
truly are in isolation because there's no more distractions. There's no more noise, right? You can hear that inner voice in yourself, right? So that's what I wanted to say.
Bro, good thing I didn't have a lot of friends.
Another thing is, I know all of you guys watching, or I would say at least 80% of you watching the channel, we appreciate it and we love you guys. But how many of you guys are going to go to the bar on the weekend? How many of you guys are going to go hang out with some friends on the weekend?
But what are you gonna celebrate at that bar?
They don't celebrate anything.
Nothing. You have nothing to. You're wasting your time,
that's
man.
That's what I'm trying to get at here. Is like, you're going to hang out.
No, it's not the right time to hang out, bro.
I know. I get
Why?
it. Because they're complacent with where they are, and then you don't wake up right until 30
man,
or 40.
you're depressed. You should be depressed. Like you should be fucking sad that you're not where you should be angry.
They love waking up.
You should be fucking pissed off.
It said they love
Why
waking
the
up
fuck
drunk.
you want to go and hang out with friends if you're broke? No, man, stay disciplined. And once you have it, once you build the body you wanted, once you have the money you wanted, maybe then you can go and listen. But I don't even have desire right now, or I don't think I will later, to just go and hang out with someone and have fun. I mean, even now we meet up for our podcasts and we enjoy talking to ourselves, but listen, there is very little bullshit. It's like, okay, boom, 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 sit down, let's record, you know?
This is work.
Yeah,
we don't have
working.
a lot of time. We came after work, like,
On a
okay,
fucking Sunday.
I have money and then I have other people that want to meet up. We probably go to fucking maybe sauna and have business conversation, how we can improve ourselves or how we can make money together. Like, I don't see just myself wasting time like that. So why would you waste time now when you don't have shit, when you actually not gonna do it, as I think, as successful people, when they're actually successful?
What's fun nowadays is finding your purpose. What's fun is, you know, showing up every single day and being proud of who you see every single day.
Proud, man, that's the word. Because he said, Kobe Bryant said, what's there to be happy about? A man versus female is two different creatures. And our purpose as a man, not primarily be happy, we maybe should use that word that you just said, proud. Not happy, proud. Your wife should be proud of you. Your mom should be proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. Your son should be proud of yourself. Nobody cares about your fucking happiness. Nobody cares if you slept or didn't sleep well that night. They want you to perform. They want you still to go to the gym. My wife is actually proud of me that she's like, today she's telling me that, hey, listen, I'm proud that you wake up early, like, and every morning you wake up. I don't sleep in. So that's, because I know I have a routine in the morning. I have to go read. I try to journal like you, but it does get fucking boring. So I'm not that good at it. So I have to probably watch your Instagram stories to get more inspired on how you journal.
Yeah, I mean, as a man, don't chase happiness, chase purpose, right? Because when you are chasing your purpose, you're building yourself. Yeah. Right? You can finally be proud of yourself, right? Because happiness is fleeting. You don't get, happiness, in a short time frame unless you're doing drugs, alcohol, partying. That doesn't have any sort of, return on investment, bettering yourself, right? When you chase purpose, you have an ROI on getting better, building your mentality, right? Getting in shape, dressing better, probably surrounding yourself with better people. So just understand that as a man, we weren't put on this earth to be happy. We were put on this earth to provide, to be our best self, to be our best father, to be the best father for our son, right? To be the best brother to our other siblings, right? Is to be a provider. When you understand that, you will start to look at the other areas of your life that maybe you are lacking. And now you can put, work into to better those other aspects.
Yeah, man, you're a provider. As a man, you're a provider. This is why you're going to have arguments with your wife or divorce if you never realize that you are meant to be a provider. And in American society, those standards are not firm in place, and normally you can see that both parents work in a family, and it's good and all that, but then you're not fully performing your primary duty as a provider, and this is where a lot of inner conflicts happen in your family if you don't fulfill that role. Because man and woman have two different natures. Female, from thousands of years, used to be a protector of the home, a person that comforts you at home, a person that cooks, helps the husband, supports the husband, raises kids, okay? And the man is the one who goes out, fights the battles, brings food home, and provides. That's the primary role of a man. And if you don't fulfill that role, then you're gonna be led by a woman and not respected by a woman, and she's gonna be your leader, because women are naturally very strong mentally versus men. So be that provider. Be someone that God designed to be.
Yeah, I can agree. Seeking purpose and providing is down to the roots of ancient times. This is just what we're meant to be doing since cavemen were around, since the Roman Empire was around. You have to be a provider and you have to have purpose in life. Otherwise, you can't conquer dreams and aspirations that you set to achieve for yourself. And I just want to dive one more section of this podcast. I really want to get into, what does it mean for you guys to fail? What would happen to who you are if you accepted failing, Brandon?
I mean, you just have to understand failing is a part of it, right? What it means for me to fail.
Yeah, what does it do to you? The better question is, every time you fail, do you take 10 steps back or do you continue to push forward?
I like this question. We talked about this many times, and you just have to understand failure makes you better, right? You can't enjoy winning when you don't understand what it takes to lose, right? And losing makes you, more creative. Losing allows you to build your mentality more so. Losing allows you to understand what you didn't do right, so now you won't go down that path anymore. So losing and failing is just a part of it, and it's helped me just want to win even more so, because I hate losing. I hate losing with a passion, right? So every single thing that I try to pursue, I'm coming with the mentality, I'm gonna win, right? And if I do lose, it's okay. Okay, when you look at losing as a learning lesson, then you're winning, right? But if you look at losing as far as oh, I fucked up this and that, and don't have a positive connotation associated with it, then you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? Then you're taking the 10 steps back, like you mentioned, right? But if you have a positive outlook, okay, I'm taking steps forward, but I didn't go the right route, or I didn't do the right thing, but I'm gonna learn from it and now implement this so I can be better, then I'm gonna take 10 steps forward and continue just to, progress, right? So just understand losing is a part of the journey, and the more you lose and the more failures you have, the more you can learn from it, right? So you should lean more into losing, more into failures, because that's how you understand the path to take, right? Life is like a video game, right? And the only way you get to level 100 is through the failures, right? We can compare it to video games. Oh, I lost at this level because I lost to the whatever guy, the Demi guy, or whatever it is, right? But it's through those failures that allowed you to keep progressing.
And for you, Vlad, what does failure mean to you? Does it stop you from being the provider and the great husband you are? Do those setbacks affect moving forward for you? Or do you reassess, reevaluate, and attack it with a different, angle, or from a different angle?
Nobody likes to lose. It's hard to lose. And it's harder to lose the older you get, the harder it is to lose, because now you're not only out there for yourself, but you're out there for your family.
Yeah.
And for your children, for your wife. So as a man, you should fail as many times as possible, as early as possible. Mm-hmm. And then the more you fail, the stronger you get. I agree with that. But you also start comparing yourself to the people that you know started with you at the point A, and now they're very far ahead of you. And you start thinking, what the fuck? Am I a fuck up? Why? You start asking yourself questions. And you have to realize sometimes in life, God throws you back to learn some skills and become a certain person. And it's not the finish line where you're at today. It's not the finish line. So you can surpass those people that ahead of you right now with the new version that God makes you, with the tests that He throws at you, with the obstacles that He throws at you. And it's not a sprint. Life is marathon. So it's not about where you're at right now. It's about the finish line. So don't worry about all other people that you compare yourself. You might be building a better version of yourself that they will never become. And then if you, in that mindset that life is a marathon and you always have to grind and work on yourself and get better, then you understand that you have to keep doing. And it's like with your body or self-improvement, it's like you have to, the rent is due every day.
Yeah.
So the rent is due every day. If you live in that mindset right now, you're gonna be better than anybody else that you compare yourself to. They might be in a very comfortable place. They might get in life where you would see yourself, but you're not there yet at this point of your life. They making certain money, or they maybe built a certain business that you don't have yet, but maybe it's going to be their ceiling. And with the person that you are, you stepped back, and if you have that mindset that you have to pay the rent every day to your own growth, you will outpace them throughout life, because you became that man that will never stop. I don't see myself fucking smoking, drinking, not working out, not fucking running marathons. I don't see myself becoming that person, because I've completely changed. So that's what I think.
Question for the both of you guys, right? Because they don't see the version of you that was smoking weed, drinking. They don't see the version of you that was overweight. They don't see the version of me that was doubting myself, etc. What was that turning point in both of your guys' lives that sparked the change? That was like, you know what? I'm not going down this path anymore. I'm not staying this individual. What was that turning point in both of your guys' lives?
Easy. I'm working out every day, like Vlad says, right? I'm working out, but I'm drinking and smoking weed. How is living a healthy lifestyle, but then destroying everything that you're working for in the gym, gonna lead to a healthy lifestyle? How am I gonna go up to Vlad and Brandon and be like, oh yeah, I work out 7 days a week, but then on the weekends I'm drinking tequila and taking shots with the boys at the casino and then smoking a joint.
Damn.
And and smoking a joint, smoking weed, taking dabs, and then all of a sudden I'm waking up in the morning and I'm hitting my little vape pen, my little fucking
Taking dabs?
So dabs is basically
Immigrant here.
THC that's pressed, like tree sap, that's pressed through heat.
It's like the highest concentration of weed.
But we're not gonna get into that. So basically I was just being I was being a hoonigan. I mean, I've done a lot more than that too. I was just being irresponsible, and I was lying to the person in the mirror, which we've been talking about all night. I'm like, how am I looking at these two strong gentlemen, and I gotta hit my little fucking vape before I go to the gym, and then after the gym, I just finished a massive workout, I gotta hit my vape again. Who am I being cool for? Are my lungs happy? Fuck no. Is this body God gave me, this engine, this beautiful fucking body that God gave me that can grow, and if it gets cut, it can heal itself? Why the fuck am I destroying it? So the biggest turning point was understanding, if I want to be a community leader, if the better version of Corbin is going to have an impact on Vlad's life and Brandon's life, I got to be a good fucking person. I got to be able to look in the mirror and know that I'm not doing drugs and I'm not smoking any poisons that are going to deteriorate my body. And I'm not going to be drinking alcohol on the weekend. So that way I'm getting behind the wheel of my car and then all of a sudden I have a DUI and my life is out the window. For what? For a little bit of fun and pleasure? You know, the real fun is actually being wealthy and being able to take care of the loved ones that you see on the holidays. And you're never going to get there. Nowadays, it's not easy. Back then, when our family, our parents were born, it was easy. Like 20 grand, that was a lot of fucking money. They were buying houses for 200,000 here in California. That same fucking property is $1 million. And we're going to go off topic here real quick, but if you're making $50,000 a year, okay, normal income, you multiply that by 10 years, you made 500 fucking thousand. You couldn't even afford the $1 million home because your $500,000 that you made over 10 years was cut in half because of taxes. So you have $250,000. You basically are saying that your life's worth nothing. So you have $250,000 after 10 years. In 40 years, you're going to be 60 years old, barely affording $1 million home, and you still haven't paid for diapers, foods, friends, dinners. So we're in this wrong mindset that people are not understanding, that doesn't matter what you're getting paid yearly salary right now, you're fucked unless you do something about it, unless you start taking action. So I can't be on this podcast smoking weed. Otherwise, it's just not a serious podcast. That's not what I want in life. What I want is to be serious, to be able to have weight when I speak. When Corbin says don't do something, fuck, that's coming from a good heart. That's coming from a good guy. That's coming from a responsible, successful person. How would you listen to me if I was actually smoking weed and drinking on the weekend? Would you even take me seriously? No. But I made decisions and I decided to make a pivotal change in my life because I was like, the older version of Corbin doesn't need to smoke. My kids don't need to see this. I don't need to be drinking in front of my family. I don't need to go have fun with Brendan and have a drink. I can have fun and be sitting on a podcast. So that's what changed, was really being aware that my fun was no longer in material items. It was more in becoming that better version of myself.
Vlad, what was that turning point for you?
Man, it's a very good question. I'm trying to think what was going through my mind, back then, because I moved from Chicago to California. Things were going great. My business was doing well. I did Amazon. I had great sales, and then at some point, the business didn't do so well, and I was on a cliff of like depression. I felt like I need to change something, and I need to take control of life and my thoughts, and just get mentally strong. And how do you get mentally strong? It starts with your body. So I also realized that I live by my past achievements, because all my life I did sports, I did kickboxing, I did soccer. And to myself, I kept saying I'm in good shape. And I kept saying it because I really believed that, because that's been my life. I always worked out, but I didn't realize that I got so busy with life and so comfortable that I actually didn't put myself as a priority, going to the gym, working out. So now I'm just throwing myself in that pool, not knowing how to swim, signing up for that marathon. Like, I got to change something. So I also raised a son, and my son was turning like 3 or 4. And I thought to myself, okay, you got to be a good example. You got to wake up and do push-ups, and he's going to see you doing push-ups, and that's the best way for the kids to learn. They not gonna learn. You know, when I see parents that are overweight and they're like so fucking hard on their kids on tournaments. You know, I go to the taekwondo tournaments, or I go to just classes and watch Arthur do jiu-jitsu and taekwondo. He trains 6 days a week. And I see those parents like so strict, so fucking hard. And I look at them, they didn't work out for maybe fucking 10 years. He has a belly and he's like yelling at that poor kid that is 5-6 years old. And you're like, you don't, I understand you have authority as a parent, but you don't really have authority as, you know, like you look in the society. You don't have an authority to yell at your kid when you have professor, jiu-jitsu professor, being in fucking shape, be a real example for that kid. So you're just a scam to that kid, because a kid knows that he has to listen to you and he accepts your authority, but he's only gonna accept that authority until he get like in teenage. Once he get 12, 13, he'll be smart enough to understand, why the fuck I have to listen to him? I don't respect him. I mean, he doesn't take care of himself. I'll respect the professor, you know, at jiu-jitsu. I'll respect maybe somebody else, but not you. So I just didn't want that to happen, and I wanted to be a good example for my son. And when you're 27, and you guys don't know this because you're about 27, but you're in good shape. But when you're 27, this is the time when you can't just live off your high testosterone and eat shit and drink and still be, you know, skinny and be okay. This is where people change. People actually start to look old. You know, if you look at 32, 35-year-old, like those are like, they look like 40-year-old. They look like 45-year-old. I mean, it's all relative. You can look at some 40-year-old and they'll look like 30-year-old. So that's what happened to me.
I like that a lot. I'd say the biggest turning point in my life that sparked that change wasn't so much life was breaking me down. I was just always self-aware as a young kid, and growing up, I always saw nice things and always wanted nice things, nice clothes, you know, nice cars, a nice house, all the things that come with success, right? And I just started looking at my circle and I was like, these people that I'm hanging out with, we're all smoking weed, we're drinking. All we do when we're together is talk about girls, it's things that don't have any positive correlation to helping me, to uplifting me, to allow me to become my best self. So I just started looking at my circle and I was like, I can't become my best self or become successful if I'm surrounding myself with these individuals. So I just cut everyone off and just put myself in isolation. And through that isolation, I started to understand what I truly wanted, who I wanted to become, and how I was going to get there through, again, just understanding what it is that I wanted and creating a roadmap to that. So you just have to be self-aware as well. I think that's a skill set that most people don't have. You know, they're just complacent, just going throughout life like, la, 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 okay, wake up, go to my job, this and that, cook, eat, and then go to bed, right? No, you have to be self-aware. Why am I doing these certain things? You know, why is my mindset like this, right? All the things that allow you to, like, again, truly understand yourself. And then once you truly understand yourself, you can create that roadmap to be successful.
Yep. How long do you think we've been talking for?
A minute. I can see it in your guys' eyes.
All right, guys, we really enjoyed this conversation. We could go on, and I hope someone stayed until the end and listened to this, and you're gonna apply to whatever we were saying into your life right now after you turn off that phone, that TV, wherever you're watching it. And don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because we're gonna drop a video every fucking week, because we're not weak.
Hell no. Come on.
And we're consistent.
We're the underdogs.
And we're gonna see you in the next episode.